Hey, what's up, you guys? What's going on? It's Fabio Hart. Fabio coming back with another video. Um, I'm gonna try to get back in the groove of getting to the videos. What I want to talk about today, guys, is I want to talk about day porters and versus evening cleaning, and I also want to talk about residential versus commercial. Okay. Um, let's start with residential versus commercial first, and I'm gonna come back to day porters and evening cleaning. And as a reminder, guys, the information that I give you here on my channel is just my perspective of things. Okay. Make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Good evening. How are you, Mia? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, guys. I would greatly appreciate that. You know, it takes a lot for me to come and do these videos. So let's talk about residential versus commercial. And the reason I want to talk about this stuff today is that, I got, a few emails and people were saying, Fabio, um, I'm getting jobs, but they're not sticking. They're not sticking. Or people would say, well, Fabio, can you I want to hire your company to do this residential job, and then it's a one-time job, so they're not having reoccurring business. So what they're finding that it's very difficult. It's very hard to keep the flow money-wise in terms of business. So they say, well, Fabio, I have this expense and that expense, and the cash flow isn't rolling in like it should be on those residential accounts. Here's the thing. Residential, and I said this before and I'll say it again, residential is one of those type of up and down businesses, right? Now I have a lot of residential contracts. I have more commercial than I have residential, but I have a lot of residential contracts. And here's the deal. Because my commercial income out, if we just compare the niche, right? The commercial versus the residential, because my commercial income outweigh the residential, I don't feel so bad when they cancel service, or when they just want a one-time cleaning, or just a two-time cleaning, or when they just want to call us when they need us, type of thing, right? But as I tell people all the time, if you're trying to get fast money and you're trying to get it real quick, fast money, residential would be the way to go. Okay, that's if you're just trying to get quick money, quickly, fast, right? Residential will be the best way to go. Now, if you're trying to maintain reoccurring contracts, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that you won't have residentials that stick with you, where you come and clean once a week, twice a week, or whatever it is. I'm not saying that you won't have that. But you can almost guarantee with on the commercial side of things, to have those contracts. As long as you do a great job, or at least a good job, you'll still be able to have that reoccurring revenue coming in, right? You'll still be able to build them. So that's just my perspective on it. So my commercial side outweigh my residential side. So I don't get much of a hit in terms of if they cancel a job, or they just want a one-time cleaning, or whatever the case is. I don't get much of a hit or a blow to my income as maybe some of you guys that's just starting out. Now, I do know some of you want to have residential cleaning companies. I talk to a lot of people that say, well, Fabio, I want to have a residential. I just want to do residential. And then eventually I want to branch off into commercial. Again, like I say, it depends on what you want, what your niche is. Everybody have what they like to do, right? Some people don't want to do residential or commercial. Some people tell me, hey, Fabio, I just want to do power washing. I want to do carpet cleaning. I want to do, other areas within the cleaning business. So, and you can do that, and there's a lot of money to be made across the board in every part of the market, right? Wherever you want to go, it's a lot of money to be made. But like I say, if it was me, I would go more commercial, because I can pretty much guarantee that a little bit, right? So when they sign the contract or sign your agreement, you got that situated. All you have to do is just keeping the building, right? Maybe the first couple of cleanings might be a little tough, right? Because You got to get a feel for the building. The building might be a lot dirtier than than ever before. So you have to get it together. But once you get the building together, it's just a matter of keeping everything up at that point. Okay. So, like I say, when it comes down to residential and commercial, I wouldn't tell you guys where to go because everybody got their little flavor. But if you're just kind of basing it on, well, what did Fabio think, right? What will Fabio do? Then my thing will be commercial. Okay. My thing will be commercial. So, and that's once again, the reason I say commercial once again is just because it's reoccurring, right? You can almost guarantee, as long as you do a good job, that you'll be able to continue to work. Like I said, if you want fast money where you can clean today and get paid today, then residential will be the way to go. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make a lot of money, because if you have a significant amount of residential accounts, I mean, you can be billing, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a week, right? Or more, right? There's really no cap to it. It just depends on your work ethic, the training of your employees, or if you're doing it by yourself, how many jobs you can get done in a week's time, right? You still have to be able to market. You still have to be able to do those things and get new, prospects, new contracts, stuff like that. So it's money to be made in a residential. It's just you need a lot of it, right? You need a lot of contracts, because let's take it, you unless you're doing like some mansions or some mini mansions or something like that, or you have a really well-to-do business owner or some ball player or something like that, you might not be making the type of money that you think, opposed to the type of dollars that you can make in commercial. It's just my opinion that you can make more money in commercial than you make in residential, right? But you can make it a lot faster. You can get it a lot faster, I feel like, in residential opposed to commercial. So it depends on what you need. If you need money now, residential jobs are all over the place. Now, if you want to say, well, I mean, certain stuff I talked about on the coaching that I'm not going to discuss here, but I will give you one tip that I have been doing and what really drum up a lot of residential business for me. And I said it before, I said it again, and that's the Facebook ads, right? Using Facebook ads is magnificent. I have nothing bad to say about the Facebook ads at first. At first, I was kind of against it because I didn't understand it, right? And it wasn't really drawing the revenue that I wanted it to draw in the beginning, because I'm thinking maybe it's the ad, maybe it's the flyer. Because I mean, you can advertise what you want. You can have a video, you can have a flyer, you can have a link that go to a website. You can have whatever you want to advertise, right? To drive that client to whatever area. Me, I use a multiple things, right? I might do a quick video, advertise the video, right? Have them respond to that, call a certain number, and then they deal with my people from there, right? So it's certain ways that you can kind of test it, guys. But like I say, at least give it a shot, and give it a fair shot. Don't run an ad for 1 week and say, well, you know what? I didn't get the response that I want, so this shit doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Rome wasn't built in a day. And a lot of times you guys got to get that out your mind too. You got to get that out your mind. A lot of stuff doesn't happen overnight. You have to be persistent and consistent. You have to consistently do it. Okay? Give it a fair shot. It could either be the ad itself, or the verbiage, or the video itself, or it could be you didn't run it enough. You didn't give it enough time to circulate, right? For the traffic to come through, right? But you will find out which one, yin or yang, in due time. Okay, so I mean, that's just one thing that I do amongst other things that I do to pick up new residential accounts. Okay, but like I say, the money is good when you get it right then and there, or when you get it at the end of the week, however you decide to bill them for it. Like I say, that's the cool thing about the residential versus commercial. Residential, you can get it right now. You can get it immediately. The commercial side, you're going to bill them at the very least a net 15, which is pretty much bi-weekly. Now, I like to have money come in across the board throughout the course of the month, so I do net 30s and net 15s. So basically, net 15, you're going to work the 30 days and then you're going to bill them. Net 15. Net 15, you're going to work 15 days and then you bill them. Net 30, you're going to work 30 days and then you bill them. Now, I do know of some people, they come in the minute their new client signed the deal, they get a deposit up front. And it's kind of new, because typically you'll work that client first and then you bill them. But I've had some people say, Fabio, I don't even wait the 30 days now. I don't wait the 30 days. They have to at least give me a deposit, or they have to give me at least X, Y, and Z, or 20% of whatever their billing is, or whatever the case is, which is a unique way to go. And I'm like, did they pay it? They're like, yeah, they paid it. So, that might be something that you guys can try. With me, I wouldn't try that with my if I was going to try it, I would try it with a new client and not an existing client, because they already got, used to the pay system, to the way they pay currently, right? They got used to the net 15 or the net 30 already. Okay, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Get those likes up there. I really greatly appreciate it. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about in that regards. People, like I was saying, people was telling me that they weren't able to keep residential cleaning accounts. And like I say, I think residential cleaning accounts is generally a short-term business, right? You probably will get somebody that might use you once a week for 30 days. So that's like 4 times a month, right? Once a week, 4 weeks in a month, right? So you got somebody for 4 weeks, right? One cleaning, 4 weeks. So that's 4 times a month. And then they might not use you again the next month. Okay? But like I say, it's an up and down thing. And then you might have some well-to-do person that kind of need a nanny, or whatever the case is, right? Need somebody to consistently clean their mansion or mini mansion. Those are the ideal clients, I would suggest, right? Like the big money clients, the gated area, the big money clients, they'll use you more if you can land those type of jobs. Okay. I know Florida is really good with that. The retirees in Florida, a lot of people got to retire, do their retirement. They come all across the country, all across the world, and reside in Florida. So all of my Florida subscribers that I talk to, they say, well, Fabio, I got this little gated community, and the word of mouth is spreading throughout the community with the older folks or whatever. I'm cleaning their homes. These people have really big money and yada, yada, yada. They have boats out on the deck, out back or whatever the case is. I'm like, hey, go for it. That will be the ideal client. Some type of gated community where the people in that community have like a sim income range, right? Some might be a little higher than others, but that will be the ideal client. Okay. So that's what I would suggest you do as it relates to commercial versus residential. Okay. Like I say, if you're looking for a long-term contract where you can go to sleep at night easily and know that you're going to constantly be billing, I would suggest you go to commercial route. If you're looking for, revenue right now, money is a factor, you need to pay bills, your business need to grow quickly, then I would suggest residential. Okay, because like I said, you can get residential, right? But holding on to it, it's kind of like I like to use this analogy like the mechanic, right? The auto mechanic. So your starter went out, you need to get a new starter, you call your mechanic, he fixed your car, right? And it might be the whole year might go out and nothing else is wrong with your car. Minor little stuff, right? But he won't see you no more for quite some time. So even though he's in a service business, he has to always be advertising to get more clients coming in. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, right? He always has to keep doing something, right? To put the word out that his business exists, right? To draw in more clients. So his income, even though he's service, his income isn't necessarily residual, right? It's up in the air, Either way, you can have a good month where you had a lot of hi Diane, how are you? Forgot the commercial accounts. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Make sure you like the video, Diane. I greatly appreciate you. So he always has to be advertising, guys, right? Even though he's a service business, he always has to be advertising. And he's gonna get work because there's always cars that's breaking down, cars that need thanks again. There's always cars that need to be fixed on, right? So he's going to get work, but it won't be residual, right? It won't be like that constant. He's going to have a maybe steady workflow, and then it might decrease a little bit, okay? So like I say, it just depends on you guys. It depends on you. I eat from both sides of the table, right? In terms of residential and commercial. But if you're going to do one first. Do one first, guys, and then branch out to another niche within the market, okay, within the industry, I should say. Okay, so my thing is I started with commercial, started building up a significant amount of money. Then I kind of branched out. Then I kind of branched out to window cleaning. I branched out to carpet clean. I branched out to other things, right? Residential, but I started with commercial first. So when you're trying to do everything, be everything to everybody, then you find yourself not making no money, guys. You find yourself, it's not impossible. It's just, it's hard that way, right? So pick one, market that area, do that specifically, start building up revenue within that, and then you can take some of those revenue dollars and go to window washing or go to painting or go to landscaping or whatever you want to do, because all of those kind of intertwine with each other, right? So you can kind of invest in other things once you start getting the ball rolling in one. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind, guys. Like I say, I hate when I talk to a lot of my subscribers and they say, well, Fabio, I want to do everything, bro. I want to do, just how you do. I want to do everything. It took time. It took time, and it depends on your work ethic. Okay, you get very stressed out very quickly trying to do everything for everybody. Now, if you're advertising, and sometimes this happens, if you're advertising in your commercial cleaning account, you will get some people to call you for residential. Now, I'm not saying turn any money down. If they, let me see, what's the most single person can make a commercial cleaning with no employees? You can make a lot of money. I know of individuals that make six figures just being a one-man team. And really, to be honest, a lot of people is going that way. The only difference, what's her name? Is it Leslie? Leslie. The only thing, Leslie, that I find is that it just takes them a little longer to build that, right? Especially on the residential side. I know a lot of just one person team, just a one person operation. The cool thing about it is you don't have to worry about employees, you don't have to worry about W-9s and W-2s, you don't have to really, because you're your own boss, right? You're just self-employed. Now, the caveat to that is that it tires you down a lot quicker, right? Because, and then it puts you in a bind, like when it comes to your family, cooking and just doing regular things that you got to do. You're so caught in this business, right, where you're just a one-man team that sometimes it adds so much pressure to your life where you have to delegate. But like I said, I know people that make, six figures. You can easily make 50 grand with it, right? And that's just coming in on the low side of things, right? But yeah, it just depends on the person. If you want to run a one-man operation, you can do it either way, right? Whether you're a window cleaning guy or a girl, or whether you just commercial, residential, you can run any part of this business as a one-man operation. Okay, but like I say, to me, I feel like it takes you longer to grow because you're so much of it. You mean so much to the business, right? So it takes you longer to pick up new contracts, I feel like, because you don't have that time to really go out and pick up those contracts yourself. So when you do, but you probably could pick up a lot faster if you delegate it. Let me see. I have branched out into junk removal. That's a good one. Lawn service. That's a good one. I see so much opportunity. Yeah. What I would probably suggest you do is just penetrate one. I would suggest you, like, whichever one you like, junk removal, whatever, just penetrate one until you really got that business honed in. You honed in on that business. You really got reoccurring revenues, right? You got other dollars invested to other investment opportunities and things like that. I would just hone in on that one thing, Leslie. And then as it grows, whatever you can say, well, you know what, I want to make 20 grand a month or 25 grand a month recurring. And then once I do that, I want to jump into commercial, right? That's the way I would do it, right? That's the way I did it, even to run my business on autopilot now. That's how I'm able to operate in Georgia, Ohio, and Michigan, right? Because I was able to say, you know what, once I start making X amount of dollars in this city, in this state, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move, because I wanted to move. Then I will go and move to VA, I did the same thing in VA, right? Once I got the training in place, right, I was able to get everything set up, all my ducks lined up in a row, and then I left VA or Virginia and I moved somewhere else, right? So, like I say, you just want to hone in on that one thing, go full throttle in it, and really make it work. Really make it work. Okay. Okay, guys. Now, what I want to, and your questions can come in too. For those that need to email me about anything, yep. For those that need to email me about anything, you can email me at Hollywoodjanitorialserv, SERV, at gmail.com. Hollywoodjanitorialserv at gmail.com. Now, what I want to talk about, guys, is day porters versus evening cleaning. I have a lot of people that, well, not a lot, but I had quite a few people that asked me, Fabio, which one is better? I'm more attracted to day porter, or they say I'm more attracted to evening cleaning. If you had to pick and choose, which one? I feel like you make way more money in the evening than you make on a day porter. Day porter keep you busy. Day porter can sometimes be a headache, right? Because it's day porter, you're working with other individuals, you're working with your client, right? You're working around them, they steady messing up, you said you got to clean up behind them, right? So it can be nerve-wracking, right? So but it is money to be made in there. If I wouldn't tell you, because I got several, well, more than several, but I got quite a few day porter jobs, right? It definitely keep you busy for sure. But I would say I probably make the most money with smaller and medium-sized accounts, guys. I'm going back to that. And I got contracts that pay me anywhere between 10 to 15 grand a month, right? And that's just one contract. But those little small 1 hour, 2 hour accounts, man, you can kill it if you pick them up in the right area, right? You go to the right area, your city, your town, you can really kill it. Ugh, I'm sorry. You can really kill it, okay? Providing your numbers is fair, putting in fair numbers, you can really, that money really rack up really quickly, okay? Really quickly. But for the people that ask me, you know, which one is better, I think that's just a matter of opinion, right? In my opinion, I like evening cleaning. But you might talk to somebody else and say, I don't know what Fabio talking about, day porter is the shit, right? I like day porter. And that's fine. Like I say, it's just a matter of opinion, right? Wherever you feel you gel with, that's convenient for you, that works for you, then so be it, okay? But whatever sector of this business you decide to go, whatever niche, whatever route you decide to go, just stay on it, guys. Just stay on it. And now it's about to go into the more motivational aspect. I like to do what I call the Sunday motivational videos. Guys, it's crazy because a lot of my subscribers have taken off, right? A lot of them, and when I say taken off, like they execute, they're really out there, they're putting their hours in, you know, they doing what they're supposed to do. And then I got a lot of my subscribers that's not, they're just stagnant. And I know what happens. I'm gonna tell you what happens. It's not that you don't want to be successful. It's not that. We all know you want to be successful, right? It's just the fact that you done tried something, you done tried it, you done tried it, you done tried it, you done tried it, you keep on trying it. Fabio, I hear what you're saying, and it resonates with me. I believe what you're saying, but I'm just not able to do it. I'm not able to get over the hump. What am I doing wrong? Like, what are you doing that's working for you that I'm not doing? And the only thing that I can tell you guys, is I'm a little bit more consistent. I'm a little bit more consistent. I wake up early and I stay up late. I'm always ready. I got a book, I got an audio book. I'm always thinking. Now, I'm not trying to tell you guys to necessarily do that. I don't want anyone, I don't want to be the reason anyone gets sick for the lack of sleep, okay? But what works for me works for me. I do feel in the beginning, you have to sacrifice rest, you have to sacrifice family, okay? And you can go and listen to any motivational videos, and you're going to hear the same stuff. All the people we know today, your Mark Zuckerbergs, your Bill Gates, all the people, these people was on the verge of losing family, you know, divorce. They missed the kids, elementary recitals and different things. Like, it's not that they wanted through, it's just that their goal and their passion to be ultra wealthy or ultra successful was more important to them than the kids at the point, right? Or the wife at the point. And you have to adapt that same philosophy, okay? In my business, it's more comfortable. It's a lot of my subscribers that have my coaching and different things like that, and I'm talking to them at 12 noon. Meanwhile, we're on different levels, right? They're where they're at, and it's like maybe a struggle, right? And I'm where I'm at, and I'm kind of having fun. I'm just doing my thing, right? But I position myself way early, like in 2012, right? I was nonstop, right? You guys heard my story before. I wanted to get my first account in the first 90 days, and I wound up, well, I wanted to get it in the first 60 days, and I wound up getting it within the first 90 days, right? So the thing is, but I stayed at it. I stayed at it. A lot of you guys lack action. A lot of you guys allow other individuals to trick you out your position. Okay, and you have to get away from that. You hear me say this all the time, and I'm gonna say it again. If you can't change the people around you, then you have to change the people around you. Okay? If you can't change the people around you, then you have to change the people around you. Which essentially what that means is, I can't change you, right? But I can change my position with you, right? How I interact with you. If I interact with you, I can change that, right? I have the right to say if I want to deal with you or not, right? So that's the same philosophy that you guys have to adapt. You have to get those naysayers. So many people tell me what other people have said about them. I give a fuck, excuse my French, but I give a fuck what anybody say about me. Because at the end of the day, I know what I can do, right? Meanwhile, they don't necessarily know how I can move and why I move the way I, right? So that's the same thing how I feel about you guys. If you're working your ass off at your job, you're trying to save money up, you're working between your job and your cleaning company, and people got something to say. Somebody trying to say, it's not going to work. There's too much competition out here. Man, this is a growing business. And it's been growing for years and years. It's competitive, but it's a very growing business. It's a very growing business. Okay? All you have to do is get in the door and execute results. That's what it comes down to. Okay? You have to get in the door and execute results. Because once you execute those results, they're not going to be so quick to let you go. Right? I've walked in many contracts to solicit to get new contracts, to do walkthroughs and different things like that. And they had this little old lady that's been there for 15 years or however long she's been there, and they will not let that lady go. I don't care what you want to charge. You can meet them at the same price, and they're going to keep that lady. Why? She executes the results, and she's built the foundation with them. She's built a relationship with them. Okay? Same thing in contracts. I've had franchises call me and say, hey, do you want to sell contracts? Because they done bumped into me more than one occasion and they can't get the deal. That's because it comes down to training. Right? A lot of my people at the contracts, guys, they like the people that work for me, which means it's hard for you to get that contract from underneath me because they built that relationship. They see the same face in the building all the time. Okay? So again, like I say, guys, it's a lot to go into this. Okay? I think a lot of you guys make it a lot harder than it has to be. But all you have to do is sit down, play by play. Like what works for me can absolutely work for you. Okay? Because it's a systematic, a system works. McDonald's, that's a system. Burger King, that's a system. When you invest in that franchise, it's a system. Okay? So systems work. That's what I'm for. I'm for systems. Okay? If you adopt my philosophy and you just work the way I work or the way I share with you to work, and you consistent, you persistent, right? You will start getting momentum. You will start getting traction. Okay? And I know this for a fact because I spoke to a lot of people that came on my coaching calls or got coaching through me, and they listen to what I say, take the notes, and they stay at it. They stay at it. They stay at it. It's hard, but they stay at it. Okay? And then there's some people that fell by the wayside. Okay? The people that fall by the wayside is people that don't really have it in their gut. They don't have it in them to be entrepreneurs. Right? Everybody want to be an entrepreneur until it's time to be an entrepreneur. Right? Everybody want to be an entrepreneur until it's time to be an entrepreneur. Okay? It's just not for everybody. It's not. So what I try to do on the coaching calls and on the videos and different things like this, I try to motivate you guys. I try to get you guys in the mindset, and then another thing, a lot of you guys can't get out of that employment mindset. And I talked to a lot of people that got in their feelings on my coaching where we were really kind of going at it. And I'm like, listen, I hear what you're saying, but being emotional, being this way, being that way, being loud and obnoxious, that will cause you to lose a contract. You have to understand, it's almost like psychology. You're almost playing what they call mental gymnastics, right? Chess by the brain, right? You have to know how to, even though your customer might be irate, you have to know not to be ghetto or not to be belligerent, right? And a lot of you guys get so emotional with that. Me, I'm able to kind of dumb down here. I totally hear what you're saying, right? With a smile, and I can get them to kind of pull in and draw into me, right? Because of the way I am within a way. Now, we're not going to win no match if we both yelling and screaming and arguing and cursing and things like that. Same thing with my employees. That's why they stick with me, right? Because I'm connected to them, but I'm not too connected to them. Right? And I tell you guys that all the time. If you got employees, I'm not really big on hiring friends, but if you're going to hire them, you better set some type of standard. And you better watch them. Because friends, family, they don't take you as serious as somebody that don't know you. People that don't know you take you a little bit more serious because they don't know you. Right? But again, it comes with the training. You got to have training in place. And it start person by person. Whatever you do with one person that's working, just duplicate that with multiple people. And that's part of your training. That's putting your training together, guys. Some of my subscribers I called, I have their numbers and things like that. I call, and man, and I would never say no names on here, but man, they're in worse situations in 2019 than they were in 2018. Like I had people that was really doing well in 2018, and I call them up, hey bud, hey sweetheart, I haven't talked to you in a while, and they got a story for me. It's terrible. They had quit their job, they were working, their business, everything was nice in 2018. Now they're back on, they're working. They picked up a side job doing Uber and stuff, Lyft and stuff like this, and they're back working, they're depressed. When I ask them, what happened? Fabio, I feel comfortable. I can talk to you. I feel comfortable. What happened? You went from $5,000 a month, $7,000 a month in 2018 or whatever they were making, to now you don't have no contracts or you got 2 left. The income has dropped down dramatically. Now you're riding for Uber or Lyft, or you got a side job at Walmart or something like that. Which, we're not trying to belittle this. You got to do what you got to do, right? But I try to figure out what happened and how we could turn this around. 2018, 2019, what happened? If I was a gambling man, they let a lot of their personal issues get in the way. And they told me, some people told me, some people kind of hint, I'm pretty intelligent. I can kind of depict what's going on. You can't let your personal life get in the way of your goal. You cannot let your personal life get in the way of the goal. If you need to get another job because of the politics that's going on in the job where you're at right now, it's in the way, it's hindering you from staying focused. By the time you get home, you don't want to, draw up no sales letter. You don't want to work on your flyer. You don't want to work on your website. You don't want to, you're not in the mood to do that. That's probably not the job for you right now. I would start looking elsewhere. I mean, we know you got to live, you got to eat, you got to do certain things, right? So you need the income to come in. I'm not going to just tell you to quit without income coming in, because that wouldn't be the best advice to give you. But maybe you need to start looking for another job so you can get that revenue coming in, so you can take that revenue and invest into your business. Okay? Guys, like I said, man, I mean, it's all on you. It's all on you. I can tell you everything that I know. I can get you on a coaching call. You can pay me this and pay me that, and I can share all of the nuggets and the things that I do with you. But guess what? It won't do you no good if you don't apply it. It won't do you no good if you don't apply it. So many people, they go to the college, right? They pay what? $1,000 per class, or I don't know how much it is nowadays, right? $1,200 per class. So they rack up at $50,000, $60,000, maybe more, depending on what school they went to. They rack up this really huge tuition bill, right? And they come out and their career is obsolete. It's not a market for it anymore. It's obsolete. I went to college. I graduated college. And I'm not using nothing that I learned in college, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying it's a waste of time. I'm just letting you guys know I'm not using that on a consistent basis. Right? But the thing is that, I mean, I believe in schooling. It's better to know some stuff. There is some advantages. I think right now, if a person's going to use college and they decided they were going to drop out for whatever reason, I suggest that you find the best of the best students. And if you're going to become the next tech company, the next Google, the next this, the next that, Microsoft or whatever, Facebook, whatever, you're going to be the next tech, college would probably be where you will find those mindset people, right? Those people with that mindset. So if you don't use college for nothing else, and you're thinking about letting it go, you're watching my videos, you say, what? I'm really thinking about letting college go. I wouldn't tell you to stay or let it go, but I will tell you to use the people and the relationships that you build there, because those people can be the reason you build a multi-million-dollar or a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Those people. You just haven't sat down and shopped your ideas with them, and, be careful for the Mark Zuckerbergs, right? We know he stole the idea from some other individuals, right? So make sure, before you kind of go into your ideas, that you have everything laid out, right? Paperwork, you have everything together, right? But like I say, those individuals, those like minds, would probably be the people that you meet at college. Let me see what I got here. I see somebody said something. Leslie, she said, how can you tell when business need a cleaner if Google, let me see, need a cleaner, it Google it, but I'm trying. I'm not sure if I understand what you're asking me. You say, how can I tell when a business need a cleaner? I Google it, or is it I or if? Maybe I need glasses. I Googled it, but I'm trying. I'm assuming you're asking me, how do you find businesses that need a cleaner? And Google is a good way to go, but you have to keep doing it, right? You have to, you can use SEO, You know, you can use like Google Ads, Google advertising. That's the way to go. A way to go. I actually got a SEO expert that I hired on now that's helping me with the online, because I don't understand online marketing and the whole online and, you know, driving traffic online and that type of thing. I do get it, kind of sorry for my spelling. No, you're okay. So you can still drive traffic through different online portals, right? For your the commercial side. If you're doing residential, I would suggest you do like more or less like Facebook ads, the sponsor ads. It worked for me. It may take a little longer to build up to get the word out, but it will eventually start working. So I'm a big fan of that. If you're doing what I usually suggest people to do, cold call, door to door. I'm really big on the door to door thing. Um, Really, to be honest, is no way in the hell that you can pick up contracts going door to door. It might take some time, right? Because everybody's not gonna be interested, but you will eventually get that traction. I would suggest that you find certain businesses that you would like to clean, make a list of them, and then execute on that list. That's what I would suggest. So, for an example, if you say, well, I wouldn't have a problem cleaning dentist offices, then what I would do is make a list of dentist offices that you're willing to drive to, contact them some way, fashion, or form, whether you use direct mail, letters, postcards, uh, phones, door to door. Now, I'm into the low to no cost methods to drum up business. I know it worked because I went from 0 to 1.2 million plus in sales with my cleaning business. Okay, and I operate out of Georgia and Michigan, so I know it works, right? But again, you have to stay consistent with it, right? You're gonna hear a lot of no's, okay? But just stay consistent with it. You'll eventually get it, okay? And to me, it seemed like once you get that first deal, it's a lot sweeter, right? It gets a lot better for you. It seemed like the other deals kind of roll in once you get that one deal. But that first deal always seemed to be the hardest. Always seemed to be the hardest. Okay? Guys, make sure you like this. Make sure you like this video. If you have any more questions, go ahead and throw them at me. Like I said, I kind of want to motivate you guys, because I know it, for me, when I think about it, it seemed just like yesterday in my head when I was struggling. And it wasn't a Fabio Hart available to Fabio Hart to kind of coach him and guide him through, right? Yes, it costs to coach with me and that type of thing, but don't worry about how much it costs you to coach with me. Worry about the value of the information that I give you. Okay? Worry about the value of the information that I give you. And if applied, you will be successful. I don't think you're going to be successful. You will be successful if applied. That's where a lot of people get the hang up. A lot of people coach me, right? They coach with me. I give them precise directions to do, and then they go ahead and do it their way. That's what happens. They do it their way. They don't do it the way. And then I get on the phone and say, hey, you forgot? Did you take notes? You forgot we said we weren't going to do it like that. We're going to do it this way. Right? Again, guys, like I say, you can change one little thing in any problem, and it can mess up the whole situation. Baking a pie, you baking a cake, and you can say, you know what, I'm not going to do this time. I'm going to do this one little way. You know, my sister told me to try this out. So you change one ingredient, you change one little thing, and the cake does not taste the same. The pie doesn't taste the same. It don't feel the same, right? And that's all because you wanted to do it your way. You didn't do it the way that you were supposed to do it. Okay? So again, guys, like I say, the only person that can ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. I say that all the time at the end of each video, almost each video, right? And it's very, very true. You are in the way of you. You know, you are in the way of you. let's talk about coaching too. So I had someone email me, and they said, Fabio, they said someone told them that coaching wasn't important. Um, I say, are you serious? That's what they said. They said, yeah, someone, another YouTuber told them coaching wasn't important. So I say, well, maybe to them it's not important, right? Here's the thing. You don't need a coach, but you should have a coach. You don't need a coach, but you should have a coach, right? So let's take Michael Jordan, let's take Muhammad Ali, let's take Mike Tyson, let's take Tiger Woods, let's take Venus and Serena, right? Let's take some of the top billionaires, The Rock, millionaires, movie stars, Tom Cruise. Now, they may have not needed a coach to act. But if you ask all of those individuals that I named if they had a coach, they're going to tell you yes. And them having a coach, with them being charismatic and them, want to, be the top of their craft, be the top in their industry. They wanted it. They knew it. But they had a coach. And we know all of them today. Now, who you choose to, coach with is entirely up to you. So when someone told me, well, I was watching someone else's YouTube, and they say, you don't need a coach. You can find everything on the internet. I've said that on my videos. You don't need a coach. You can find a lot of things on the internet. I agree. But just because you find it on the internet, right, it doesn't necessarily give you a format. It don't give you necessarily a blueprint. Yeah, you found the answers, right, that you need. You can apply it. But if you got a coach that's already been through it, he or she know the business, they've been doing it, why not coach with them? Why not coach with them? Because they're going to save you the hurdles and the bumps in the road and the different things like this, right? They're going to save you. I mean, if you got the right coach and he's going to be fair with you, right? Or she's going to be fair with you. Inevitably, they should help you out. They should want to get you from here to here. They want to turn things around for you, right? So again, I tell people, when I say coach, that's not always talking about you have to have like a paid coach, like where you pay me and I'm going to coach you, right? A book can be a coach. An audio book, YouTube could be a coach to a certain degree, right? You learn the information. You go to motivational seminars and different things. That could be a form of coaching, so to speak, right? But it's nothing like a one-on-one coach. It's nothing like somebody that you can access and they know it and they tell you exactly what to do, and you do it, and then you start seeing some level of results. It's not going to be an overnight process, right? So, just kind of keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind as you grow. Because again, in the very, very beginning, I have mentors and I have coaches, right? People that I look up to and I can call. It's millionaires, right? I have to pay them. It doesn't come free. But in the beginning, I didn't have the means to do that, right? Because I didn't know these people. I met these people through a source of networking. You go to BNI meetings and the Chamber of Commerce meetings and different networking meetings, which I suggest you do, because you can meet a lot of people, right? But I had to fall in those pitfalls in the very, very beginning, guys, right? Because I didn't know what I didn't know, right? I had to get out there and I had to start doing something. I kept doing it. I started putting my system together my way, right? And it started working for me. So I just kept doing the same thing. Whatever got me a $300 account, I kept doing it, and I'm thinking like, okay, my philosophy is I was able to get a $300 account doing it this way. So I bet if I can keep doing it this way, that I can get a $3,000 account. That was my philosophy. That was my thinking back then, right? And I wasn't so far off. And that's what helped me build the system today. So again, guys, like I say, with the motivational side of things, stay motivated. If you got naysayers around you, get them from around you. You know, stay up late, wake up early. You have to really want this. You have to want it. Now, if you're just doing it as a side hustle and you're working it just kind of part-time, then expect a part-time income. Don't expect a full-time income off of part-time efforts. Don't expect a full-time income off of part-time efforts. You want a full-time income, you want that six-figure income, you want that five-figure income, four-figure income, monthly residual, then you have to put in that effort. You get in what you put in. Okay? So just remember that, guys. You know, remember that. So as a recap, as to, you know, really what the video was about, day porters versus evening cleaning. Like I say, it's just a matter of opinion as to what you want. I would suggest evening clean. I don't necessarily like people looking over, you know, my shoulder. I kind of like want to move in and move out, get in and do what I need to do and get out the way. It's like at the day porters, at least what I'm hearing from my employees, day porters, they're looking over your shoulder. You guys didn't clean the restroom. And then they go in there and they F it up, excuse my French, and they got tissue everywhere. They got this everywhere. Like they have a maid. Now, my people, we can't complain about it because that's what they hire us to do. They hire us to be there during the day to clean the restrooms and clean the cafeteria and take out the trash and do those things. So that's what they're getting paid to do. But some people will be just trife, just because they know that they can be trife. They know we got a cleaning crew and they're going to handle it, right? So a lot of times it could be a mess. I don't even want to tell you guys the stuff that we bumped up against in the cleaning business as far as day porter is concerned. On both sides, the men's restroom, women's restroom, throughout the building, things that's going on in the workplace that shouldn't be going on, right? I mean, it's just an array of stuff, okay? But like I say, if you're asking me between day porter and commercial, day porter and evening cleaning, I will pick evening cleaning all the time. But I don't turn down revenue, right? As long as it makes sense, the numbers is right, we pick up the contract. Okay? But if you're a day porter type of person, you want to be busy, you want to be in that fast pace, that go ahead and go for it. There's money to be made in all parts of the business. Go ahead and go for it. But my opinion is evening cleaning. Smaller to medium sized account, guys. Those $200, $300, $400, $500 accounts. Right? Yeah, you want those $1,000 accounts. You want those $12,000 accounts to $10,000. You want the $5,000 account. Yeah, we want those accounts. We want those accounts. But until such time as we get that little $300, account. Because it all adds up at the end of the month. When it's time to collect checks, you're not going to say, well, this was just a twice a month cleaning, which equated to $250. I'm not going to worry about that because it's just $250. I'm just get the one with the $1,000 price tag on. I'm just worried about the $1,000 contract. We're going to let this one go. It's only $250. You're not going to do that. Right? You want all your money. Right? So even though you clean this building twice a month or whatever the case is, right? It equates to $250. You're only in there for 1.5 hours, hour and a half, whatever the case is. You still want that $250. Right? So again, that money adds up really, really quickly. Really, really quickly. Okay? So now for the second part, for those that ask me, Fabio, commercial versus residential, Again, like I say, that's just a matter of opinion too. It just depends on if you're looking for residual, reoccurring revenue coming in consistently, then I would suggest you do commercial. I would suggest that you do commercial. If you're looking for just some quick cash, you can get it right now, or you can get it at the end of the week, that type of thing, then I would suggest maybe residential, right? If money is a factor, you need it right now. Residential, okay? But like I say, the funny thing about residential, always have to be advertising, always have to be picking up new contracts. Just to take it back to the auto mechanic scenario, he always had to be advertising because he's not going to be changing the same person's starter every month. So for him to change a new starter, he's got to keep business coming in, right? That need a starter change, right? They need to put in a new starter. They need a new water pump, whatever the case is. He got to stay advertising, got to stay getting his name out there. It doesn't come to him reoccurring. Like, like I tell people all the time, man, if you can get part of, they got these multi-level marketing companies and these different companies you could join where you can get a piece of the utility bill. That would be the opportune business to get into. Like if you can Google, how can I become a part of the utility companies, right? It'd be, like oil and gas and this stuff like this, because you're going to collect more on this regularly, right? Oil, gas companies and electricity. Even if you can get part of mobile, right? Because people are always going to pay their cell phone bills, right? You're going to have a few people, but if you have enough business coming in, they actually have multi-level marketing companies like this. And you can, as long as you regulate and you do your own thing, you can actually start up your own. Be a third party, independent third party company, right? Where you can get a piece of the revenue that come in on a monthly basis. See, I'm attracted to stuff like this because it's like guaranteed revenue. Commercial cleaning, I look at it as, you can get fired, they can't fire you, right? But I look at it as, like I look at the lights, right? As long as we keep doing a great job, they're going to keep paying the check. So to answer your question on that, for the people that ask me, Fabio, residential versus commercial, I think commercial is a little long term. I think residential is more or less short term, but you got to stay advertising for it. The commercial, you got to stay advertising too, right? That's how you build the profit margin, right? Well, both of them you stay advertising, but one is just going to be a little bit more reoccurring. So, if you got up to, let's say, $10,000, it's up to you if you want to stay at that $10,000 mark or if you want to go up to 20,000. Obviously, if you go up to 20,000, you know what you have to do, right? Scrub the tub. Okay. Good night. She said good night. Mia. Okay, good night, Mia. So if you want to get up to $20,000, you know what you have to do. You have to still be looking for new contracts, right? Because you're at 10,000. You're making good at 10,000 in this scenario. But now you want to be 20,000 monthly billing. So you have to look for new contracts. But if you didn't, that $10,000 is guaranteed. Opposed to if you're doing the residential cleaning, you can be on this week and they can cut you next week, right? Which ultimately sometimes happens. Sometimes it happens. Okay. So, like I said, and lastly, staying motivated, guys. Staying motivated. It's not an easy task. I'm not here to tell you how easy it is, or I don't even want it to appear easy, because it's not. It's going to take some work. You got to be flexible. Don't go too cheap on your prices, because you got to think in the event that, yeah, you starting off the business, you're going to be the one that's cleaning, but ultimately you're going to put a body in that contract and you want to be able to make money on it. Now, if you're trying to run a one-man show, then whatever number you put in, as long as it worked for you, it'll work. If you're just trying to run a one-man, business, one-woman operation. Here, let me check some of these comments here, guys. Let me see. You have great content. Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. I greatly appreciate you if you're still on here. Let me see. I got my phone propped up, guys. Let's see here. How do I get an account? Sorry for my spelling. Depending on what type of account you want. But there's a lot of ways to get contracts too. Let's see here. Also examples to get your point across. Thank you. Scrub the Tub. Speaking of Scrub the Tub, I don't know if she's still on her, guys. Scrub the Tub. Man, I remember it's like she was like struggling for a very long time trying to get the contract. She's been a subscriber for a significant amount of time. And just recently, I don't know I won't go into any specifics, but she actually had a deal that came through. Oh, okay, she's still here. She actually had a deal that come through, and I received the I think she had emailed my assistant or whatever. But anyway, I called her back and we talked briefly, and I was just so ecstatic for her because this just goes to show you, whether she got this deal or she didn't get this deal, she just stayed at it. She stayed at it. She stayed at it, and she was at it for a very long time. Very long time. Like we talked several different times, and she was at it. You understand? But like I say, guys, some people give up and some people don't. Some people get out in the field and some people don't. Guys, every single day, you should be doing something. 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 And you might say, well, I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't. Fuck that. You can't be like that, because you're going to get your ass up tomorrow and you're going to, excuse my French, guys, but there's passion behind the way I'm talking like this, right? You're going to get your ass up. You're going to go work for the man tomorrow. You're not going to tell him my tummy hurt tonight and I'm going to call in. You're going to go in because you don't want to get a point or you don't want to be replaced. You went in when you had a cold. You went in when you had a headache. You went in when your boyfriend or your husband made you mad. You went in when you was on your menstrual. You went in when your kids got suspended for 3 days of school. You went in when you had a birthday coming up. Let's talk about the positive stuff. And I always got to be bad. You went on your birthday. You went in on Christmas. And you're on time consistently on a regular basis. Be on time for yourself. Be on time for yourself at some point. To my fellas, man, I get guys coming, man, what if you're a convicted felon, man, I just don't got the look to be talking to these people, Fabio. Then change your look up. That's easy. I mean, if you know, however you look, change your look up. You got to change. You got to do something. Okay? That's the thing, guys. You got to, man, I'm not really big on excuses. And I'm not too fond of impossible. The word. Here, guys, let me give you this story, and it's a personal story. It's really personal to me. Many years ago, true story, many years ago, my auntie on my mom's side, she had breast cancer. Okay? Many years ago. She had breast cancer. She went through the chemo. That didn't work. She kept going to the doctor's appointments and they give her this script for this and this and this and that, right? That didn't work. I'm going to come back to you, Scrub. I see you. I'm going to come back to you. Let me finish this. They told her that, it can't shrink down, this cancer. For the breast cancer, they can't, they lost for words. Now they're the doctor, they lost. Now, so she went through this chemo, they run you through the machine, she go through all of this, she lose her hair, she go through all of this. This is why I don't believe in the impossible. People say it's impossible for this. My auntie, she stayed up day and night, day after day, week after week, month after month. She said she was going to conquer this cancer. She wasn't going to allow this cancer to conquer her. More than 20, I forgot how old I was because it's been so long, but more than 20 years now, my auntie has been cancer-free. Now, more than no remission or nothing like that, right? Now, my auntie, she probably can whoop your butt and my butt at the same time because she didn't go. She go to the gym faithfully. She got little abs going on. Look at you, auntie, right? She drink a lot of water. She keep her health up. But guess what my auntie did? My auntie, like I said, she stayed up day and night researching. She went to the libraries. She bought books. I'm a firm believer, if you find the root of a problem and work on the root of the problem, you can control that problem. Once you find the source, what caused it, the root of it, you can control that problem. So my auntie went to work. Man, if I can call my auntie and say, auntie, she ordered books. They show them on TV and these infomercials and things like that. She got books and paperwork and so much breast cancer. What caused it? What's this? It's, it's in the food. It's this and this, the different. She got all of this stuff. True story. And she, during her research, she found some herb that you take this herb. She had to order this herb from Japan. She ordered this herb from Japan. No lie. She ordered this herb from Japan. I probably shouldn't say this. The video could be probably demonetized. It's not that it's monetized, but it could have some interruptions because they probably won't want me to say this. But she took this herb, right? 30 days taking this herb that she ordered from Japan. Went to her next appointment whenever that was. The herb that she ordered from Japan killed the cancer and cured her from it. More than 20 years. No cap, as they like to say. More than 20 years. So when somebody tell me it's impossible for something to happen, I'm here to tell you why it is possible for something to happen. My auntie is still with me to this day. She's still here. Hair didn't grow on back. It's jet black, long back down to the bottom of her butt again. So my mom's side, everybody know my mom is Pakistani. So my auntie on my mom's side, all back down her back again. I mean, full too. It's all, Order that herb. Now, she went back to her doctor appointment. True story, guys. No cap. She went back to her doctor appointment. The doctors run the test. They got to do the test and stuff like that. They did the test. Came back and got her paperwork, had his forms and stuff. And her doctor asked her, "What have you been doing since the last time that I saw you?" Her doctor asked her, "What have you been doing since the last time I saw you?" My auntie said, "Pray to the Most High, Allah," because, we Muslim on my mom's side, right? I've been praying to the Most High. Well, I'm here to tell you that we don't see no signs of this cancer. And they was saying that it was hard to go down. It was, breast was uneven, and, this But again, I'm telling you guys to tell you the impossible is possible only when you say it's possible. The impossible is possible only when you say it's possible. I don't think in a million years I would have thought to do as much research as my auntie. I would have probably threw in the rack. I'm gonna just be honest. I would have probably, it's not shit that I can do. You know, I would have tried, but she was persistent. We joke about it. I say, auntie, I said, you was on your Thomas Edison thing. You know, how he had so many failures before he got this light bulb together. He had all of these different failures. And I say, auntie, you was on your Thomas Edison thing. Because she was determined. No remission and nothing. So to go back to the story, and then I'm going to get off and then let you guys enjoy. To go back to the story, her doctor asked her, what did she do? She said, pray to the Most High God. The doctor told her that there was no signs of cancer in her breast. So they did a full, you know, like a checkup, a pap smear, I don't know, whatever they do, right? They did a full from head to toe. Check my auntie out, just make sure she was good, and then this and that. Blood was flowing well, everything was good. My auntie, I said, well, when my auntie told me the story, I said, auntie, she was like, I'm gonna go to my next, just to make sure, right? Just to make sure nothing came back and nothing, you know, they rescheduled for her to do a follow-up checking after this one. I said, auntie, why you didn't, because she was telling me, I say, why didn't you tell the doctor what you did? Like, why you didn't tell the doctor, you know? She said, nephew, I didn't tell the doctor what I did because the doctor wouldn't tell his next patients what I told him I did. His doctor would cure his family. He would tell his family what I told him, but he wouldn't help the next patient that he had and tell the next patient what I told him so he can cure the next patient. And I know this. So that's why I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him what the herb was, where I ordered it from. I didn't tell him. I said I prayed, which she wasn't lying. She prayed every day. If you Islamic, you know you pray every day, right? But she didn't share that information with him. Still to this day. And she still go get her appointments, you know, whatever. No signs. Breast is, yeah, I say, auntie, you got filling in your breast. Like when you feel your breast, you got filling. Like, you know, it's not, what the word is I'm looking for. It's not where you can't feel, right? She said, I'm good. So again, guys, I know there's a personal story, and it's a success story in my eyes. I don't like to, tell it a lot, but that's why I feel that the impossible is possible. The impossible is possible once you say that it's possible. You have to control the narrative. You have to control it. So how does this go with your business? If you say, well, there's no accounts out there for me, guess what? There's no accounts out there for you. If you say there's no way I can make $10,000 a month, guess what? There's no way you can make $10,000 a month, which is foolishness. It really is. My first contract, guys, was $300. And I got people that I'm coaching that's running rings around me. I mean, their first contract is $1,000. Their first contract is $2,500. Their first contract is $500. Still better than $300. Okay? So again, that's why I say, what I say, on the videos. I really want to see you guys win. If you guys do want to do coaching, it's up to you. If you do want to do coaching with me, I have my annual program, which is $1,000 program, right? You get 2 coaching sessions a month, which is sufficient for the entire year, okay? If you just need like an hour coaching, that's $300 an hour. Okay. And it's all worth it. Trust me, it's all worth it. But it's not the information that's going to allow you to become a successor, that's going to allow you to win. It's what you do with the information that's going to allow you to win. I got some of the best books in my in the world, right? I read books all the time. You see me at the libraries, you see me at the bookstores. I buy some of the best marketing books. I've invested in some of the best programs. My favorite one is the straight line system. With y'all know the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. I ordered his straight lines course. His course, it was $2,000. I got his course, the CD. Now he got a more condensed version in his books and stuff like that, but I got the course, $2,000. And I used the straight line. It works. Incorporated in the way we do lead generation. It works. So what we say that was a good investment? Yes. But guess what? None of the shit would have worked if I didn't apply it. My mentors, if they tell me something to do it and I deviate from what they told me, nothing is going to work because I deviate from what they said. He didn't say do that, but I did that. I'm talking from the heart here, guys. This is real talk here. So if you want the political way, the corporate way, or whatever, you got to go to somebody else's podcast, or you got to go somewhere else. And I'm not here to insult anybody. But if you're on my channel, I want you to win. My brother used to say, win if you can, cheat if you must, but win at all costs. Now, the way I took it back then to the way I see it now, I took it then. He said, I need to cheat to win. No. He said, you need to win, period. He said, win if you can, cheat if you must, but win at all costs. Win. Execution is king. Execution is king. No execution equals no profit margin, no results. Period. So when people come and tell me what some other YouTubers said on their thing and this and this and that, I guess it's cool. It works for them, right? There's no right or wrong way to do this business. Right? I don't care who like me on or off YouTube. I don't care, right? Because I'm doing my thing. It's working for me. I have a system in place. See, a lot of the people that's saying this, that, and the third, they're working within their business. Meanwhile, I'm governing everything. I really am, promise you. I'm governing everything. Like some of the people that I'm coaching, they've been on FaceTime with me. Like, we got this dual thing we got going on. I show them what's going on. Some of the people, yeah, big general. Right? So, but like I say, and that's not to brag or boast, I put in work. I work every single day. I stay up late. I wake up early. Right? I don't get a whole lot of sleep. But in order for you guys to be a success in a business where there's a ton of competition, you have to be strategic and you have to execute. You have to be strategic and you have to execute. A lot of you guys are coming up with marvelous ways to get contracts, and I give you a round of applause. Fabio, I got the contract. And then it's 3 or 4 months and you didn't get anything. You're not even getting in the door. You're not even getting. What did you do to get that one contract? Duplicate that. Spend all your energy doing that. So if you got contracts working the phones, you got 2 contracts and you working the phones, you cold calling, you got yourself booked up to go in and do some walkthroughs, then keep working the phones. Keep working the phones, guys. If you go on door to door, which is my favorite, because that's when I get to show up and show out, pressure. That's when I get to show up and show out. But the thing is that when I walk in that door, I got an idea what I want, and I'm pretty sure of myself, and it come across. A lot of you guys walk in that door, you really not sure, you timid, and it read across your entire body. It just read that way. Okay? I need you guys to be on point. I need you guys to be sharp. I need you to walk in there with your head high, knowing what you want out of the deal. Be a little flexible, right? You might not get the numbers that but be a little flexible. Don't go too low, because we in it to make a what? Profit. You want to work for free, you get one of them signs, right? So again, guys, I'm coming from a different angle than probably any other YouTuber. You know, it's the real life. We talk about real life stuff over here, how it really goes. It's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's a us thing. It works the same way in rural areas, suburbs, the urban areas, city areas. It works the same way. Execution is king. When you find something that's working, keep doing it. Train your employees to the halt. How much you at? Okay, hang on one second. Let me get to some of the questions here. I see I'm getting back a little bit. I got a commercial cleaning residential contract 3 months in the same week. I'm just treating residential just like commercial. Yeah. If it worked for you, let me see, who's that? I think that was Scrub the Tub. Yeah, Scrub the Tub. If it's working for you, continue to do it. Continue to do it. I love the story. Let me see. Royal, she say, I love the story. I'm assuming that's the one about my auntie. Thank you so much. Let's see. Thank you, Fabio, for all the great advice. Persistent is key, very much so. You know Melinda. I remember Melinda. She doing her thing. You know. All praise be to the Most High God. Yes, sir. Oh, ma'am. Let's see. How much do you recommend charging per hour? Well, it depends on the detail of the cleaning, the frequency of the cleaning, what need to be cleaned. So it's a lot of factors when you charging it by the hour. Me, I'm a more flat rate type of guy. But it really depends on the detail of the cleaning, how big the facility is, how often you clean in the facility. You know, is it just a basic cleaning or a general cleaning? It's kind of like a lot that goes into it. And then you have to factor in, is it just going to be you cleaning, or are you going to start off cleaning, but you're going to ultimately have an employee in there, or, you know, so it's quite a different factors that kind of go into that. But mainly the size of the building, how consistent you're going to have to clean the building or upkeep the building, and exactly what needs to be done. That's kind of what's going to go into it. It's one factor. And standard rates. It's one factor though, it's standard rates. What do you mean? What do you mean it's one factor, it's standard rates? So $18 in the hour then. I mean, it's your business. It's your business. Right? It's your business. If you feel like it's worth $18 an hour, then go ahead and tax that, you know, or charge that, I should say, you know. Yeah, go ahead and charge that. I mean, it's your business. It's kind of like saying, if we do this, gonna simplify, it's just kind of saying like McDonald's and Burger King, right? Both of the burgers might have the same type of thing, but why do we like Burger King versus? That's what I'm asking. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, usually. Most cleaning companies use like percentages, you know, like certain percentages. I mean, I can't say that that's the factor, because everything is regionally done. So, like for an example, the West Coast and the East Coast have two different rates. The North and the South has two different rates, right? So you wouldn't charge necessarily the same thing where I'm at in Michigan as you would in California, right? So if you want to go by the industry, what the industry suggests, that's just a matter of a Google search. To me, that would be for somebody that's just starting off. They just kind of need something to go off of. But with me, I kind of just developed my own little way of doing it. I developed my own little way of doing it, and it works for me. But there's a lot of things that kind of go into putting the numbers together, the bid, your estimate, whatever terminology you want to use. Okay? But like I say, if you feel like whatever that particular job is, based on what you're doing, is worth $18 an hour, then go ahead and charge that. But you do want to factor in taxes. You want to factor in if you're going to have an employee. It probably isn't that complicated. Well, I'm just giving you my perspective on it, Tony. If you want to charge $18 an hour, charge $18 an hour. But it's a lot that goes into that. I mean, you just walk in the building and say, I'm going to charge $18 just because that's the number that popped in your head or whatever. You could be riding too high or you could be riding too low. There's a lot of factors. I mean, you could be charging $18 for what I would consider an extended clean. Right? So it just depends on the company. It depends on, again, it go back to the analogy of, why would you pay this for this burger when you can get this burger for this price? It just opinionated. But there is an industry standard, and you can get that at a Google search. Commercial cleaning Google standards, general cleaning going rate. Google would tell you that. I don't follow that because a lot of the Google information, when you look at the dates on it, is outdated. It's not in today's marketplace. So if you're using a percentage and you're going by Google, a lot of this stuff is old on those sites. I mean, it's dating back to, you'll see the dates on them like 2001, 2012, 2013. Well, hell, we 2020, whole another decade coming in, right? So it's up to you. You might say it's probably not that complicated. If it works for you, do it. But every company is different. Do it. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. I'm not here to tell you you're right. I'm just saying if it worked for you, do it. You guys have any more questions? Again, if you guys need me, definitely you can email me at bookfabiohart@gmail. Oh, no, you don't. Don't send that. Not to that email. You're going to go to Hollywoodjanitorialserv at gmail.com. Hollywoodjanitorialserv. I'll leave it in the description too. If you guys have, some questions you want to email me, I'll make sure you get the answers you need. If you want coaching, just put coaching in the subject line. If you want just a regular hourly coaching, just put it subject line. If you want my annual coaching program, right, for the entire year, put annual coaching. That's it. I'm here to kind of work with you guys, try to get you to the next level. But don't get me for coaching and invest the money and then do nothing with the information, guys. All right? Don't invest it and then do nothing with the information. Okay? I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. That's gonna do it for now. Again, Hollywoodjanitorialserv at gmail.com. If you need to email me, or if you just have a question about something, the only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.